Watering 101 day on Gardening with Gutner. Pamela Hargis from the Maine Cooperative Extension. Your garlic looks great. You obviously put a little TLC into that. In recent years, hot, dry summers, we're becoming water conscious, whether we're paying for it, we have a well. If you hand water, what are some tips that you have for us?
So I like to monitor the rainfall in my garden, and I do that very closely with vegetable gardens compared to perennials.
Okay.
And that's because vegetable gardens typically need 1 inch to 1/4 to 1.5 inches of rainfall each week.
How do you know if you're getting that much, you know?
Yeah, so I use a rain gauge to monitor it.
Right here, this guy.
And so this basically tells me how much rain I got during the week and if I need to supplement in my vegetable garden.
If you do need to supplement, give us some of your thoughts on, I mean, there's a way that you should be watering. I mean, if it were me, I'd just be spraying all over the place, but you don't do that. You're an expert.
No, there's definitely some best practices when it comes to watering. And so one of the practices is to water at the base of the plant and to water early in the day.
Okay, why would you do that?
So a couple of reasons. One is that allows the plant to dry out before nightfall. And so that will prevent any chance of disease that might occur as a result of moisture building up on the leaves.
Got it, okay. Any other thoughts on gardening, on watering rather, with hand watering?
Yeah, so you also want to water deeply and less frequently. And the reason for that is to train your roots to go deeper in the soil and not produce shallow roots, which is going to allow your plant to be more resilient in times of drought and dry weather.
All right, stronger plant, healthier plant.
Yes.
So that's hand watering small areas. If you have large gardens, it's kind of difficult to hand water the whole property. What are some suggestions you have for that?
Yeah, so I really enjoy drip irrigation for larger gardens, and it's just a lot more efficient. It saves you time. It costs a little bit up front, but it's a really good system to install, and I'd love to show you.
Yeah, let's go check that out then. Oh wow, look at this rhubarb. It's insane. Make a great pie. Radishes.
So here we have our drip irrigation system.
Okay.
And you can see that it's a low flow system, so it's dripping just a little bit of water. And what's nice is that it's very consistent throughout. So you'll get a really nice watering. For our system, we typically will keep it on for about a couple hours, but that will really depend on your soil type.
You prefer these over the soaker hoses, right?
Yeah, I do. And the reason being is that the soaker hoses just don't seem to hold up very well. They dry out and only last, for me, I've found to last the season.
Yeah, it's not very durable.
No, it's not. It dries out quite a bit. So this system has lasted about 8 years for us.
That's incredible.
And we've had to do some repairs, but all very minor.
Good, good. Where can you find these?
You can find these systems through online vendors and some local garden centers. What I think is nice to purchase up front is a kit that comes with all the supplies you'll need. That way there's no second guessing. You have all the components.
Watering isn't cheap, and you know I'm frugal. Next stop, free water.
So we have 2 rain barrels here at Tidewater.
And that is free water in there.
It is free water, but there's a couple of things to keep in mind with using rain barrel water. We tend to save this water for supplementing our perennial gardens rather than using it in our vegetable garden.
Why?
One of the reasons is that there's material coming off of your roof into the rain barrel, some things that you might not want to put in your vegetable garden.
You have a little story about a critter from last year?
Unfortunately, yes. So we pulled out a couple dead mice at the end of the season.
Lovely.
And that doesn't always happen, but it's just better to save that water for your gardens where you're not consuming the fresh vegetables.
Regardless of that, these are becoming increasingly popular with the gardener.
Yeah, they are. I think gardeners are really looking to conserve resources and reuse water as much as they can. So I definitely encourage it.
Definitely. All right, Pamela, you've armed us with some great watering tips. We really appreciate it for this incoming hot, dry summer. If you have some suggestions for us here at Gardening with Gutner, there's a really long email address at the bottom of your screen. Send us something and we'll try to cover the subject for you. And we'll see you next time on Gardening with Gutner. And don't forget, keep your growing going.